yet because there's actually more to the Kanye saga. Turns out Fox News, Tucker Carlson left out some parts from the recently aired 2-part interview between Tucker Carlson and Ye, the artist formerly known as Kanye West. Motherboard has obtained portions of the interview that were edited out of the final broadcast. These include numerous anti-Semitic sentiments from Ye, a strange and lengthy digression about fake children he claimed were planted in his house to manipulate his own children, and a statement that he is vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, that last part I find really funny. They were like, yeah, we shouldn't put the anti-Semitic stuff because he'll get in trouble, or like that we don't really need to air that sort of thing. That's fine. But they also, and we shouldn't put the fake children part because that makes him sound insane. But the funniest part is they were also like, don't let people know that he's vaccinated. So yeah, Carlson used the interview, which was presented as a piece of landmark television, to hit on a few of Fox News' favorite boogeymen with Ye's enthusiastic participation, the Clintons, former President Obama, COVID restrictions, and of course the Kardashians. But what the Tucker Carlson team chose to leave out is just as revealing. So let's take a look at some of those sentiments. Here are some of the motherboard clips. This is Kanye being vaccinated. Why did they choose to leave this out? Who knows? I mean, I know why they chose to leave it out. Interesting.
Oh, every day we've been killing each other in the streets every day. One of the amazing things with Mayor Suarez is the murder rate has gone down. And yeah, I mean, you set that question up. You have more information about about what happened in the hospitals. So, in all honesty, I don't have the most facts, as many facts.
No, I mean in your life, like
so the
COVID vaccine, the being stuck inside. Like, what did you think of all that?
I was vaccinated. It was interesting. A friend of mine told me that.
Why'd they take that part out? That's weird. That's a weird thing to take out. The other footage that didn't air specifically includes numerous asides about Jewish people. Ye has recently displayed an intense negative fixation on Jews, both on his Instagram and Twitter accounts that have been locked in recent days because of Ye's anti-Semitic sentiments. On Friday, October 7th, he appeared to suggest in an Instagram post that the rapper Diddy is controlled by Jews. Not long after, he promised in a tweet that he would go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, in all caps. In his interview with Carlson, Ye said that Planned Parenthood founder Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics as he put it, created Planned Parenthood with the KKK to control the Jew population.
Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics, with the KKK to control the Jew population. When I say
what? Why did they? What?
A Jew, I mean the 12 lost tribes of Judah, the blood of Christ.
Oh, he's saying black people. He's referring to black people as Jews. So he's saying that. Oh my God. Okay. We're going to run that again.
Known eugenics with the KKK to control the Jew population. When I say Jew, I
Wait, Sanger was a legit eugenicist. Did she actually want to control the Jew population? No. So you need to know a little bit. You need to go further in depth in Kanye lore to understand what he's saying. What he is mentioning here when he says Jew population is he's saying he is talking about it like a black Israelite. He's saying that black people are the real Jews. That's what he's referencing here. And he's saying that Margaret Sanger created a Planned Parenthood, and she was a known eugenicist, by the way. That much is true. That was all the rage back in the day. Okay, a big chunk of a massive chunk of scientists doesn't make it all right, by the way. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of people saw that as the new wave of science. Very hot back then. Margaret Sanger, however, wasn't just interested in like ensuring black people and the black population was controlled through abortion. That part is actually made up, for the record. She was in favor of everyone being able to have access to abortion. That part is actually true. Also, we're called upon to grapple with our 100-year history. We can no longer afford to reconcile Margaret Sanger's legacy. We must reckon with it. In the recent New York Times op-ed, Planned Parenthood Federation of America's president laid the foundation for this moment. The difficult truth is that Margaret Sanger's racist alliances and belief in eugenics have caused irreparable damage to the health and lives of black people, indigenous people, people of color, people with disabilities, immigrants, and many others. Her alignment with the eugenics movement rooted in white supremacy is in direct opposition to our mission and belief that all people should have the right to determine their own future. And decide without coercion or judgment whether and when to have children. Guys, stop saying Miz is live. I don't care that Miz is live. He already mentioned that he has an ongoing active, I don't know if it's a lawsuit or whatever the fuck's that is going on. There's still an active investigation, and he's not going to talk about it. So if he's not going to talk about it, I'm not going to sit there and watch him like play Nintendo. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's continue. Play Nintendo, you're such a boomer. We must acknowledge the harm done, examine now how we have perpetuated this harm, and ensure that we do not repeat Sanger's mistakes. We denounce the history and legacy of anti-blackness in gynecology and the reproductive rights movement and the mistreatment that continues to this day. We value the fundamental freedom of all people to control their own bodies, their lives, and their futures. So yeah, that is a sentiment that they have addressed before. Now, in our second century, Planned Parenthood is being given an opportunity to look inward, address harm, and uphold our mission and care for the communities we serve. They refilmed the Margaret Sanger part. It's here in the Tucker cut. Click. It's like 30 seconds. Just see what they recut it as.
Any way they can. Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics with the KKK, and I believe that if we saw ourselves as a people and not a race, then we would treat our people better. Like if you.
Okay, well, that's what they cut it as. Okay, got it. Here is the original, though.
Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics with the KKK, to control the Jew population. When I say Jew, I mean the 12 lost tribes of Judah, the blood of Christ, who the people known as the race black really are. This is who our people are, the blood of Christ. This, as a Christian, is my belief. And I believe that if we saw ourselves as more.
When I say Jew, I mean the 12 lost tribes of Judah, the blood of Christ, who the people know as the black race really are. Ye added, this is who our people are, the blood of Christ. This, as a Christian, is my belief. The statement matches up a few different claims. Sanger was indeed a racist and a eugenicist, a stance the organization has since denounced. Claims that Planned Parenthood exists to kill black infants in the womb are common across several conspiratorial spaces. Ye was also referring to the claim, unsupported by historical evidence, that black people are the real Jewish race, which is often used to promote anti-Semitism. The Southern Poverty Law Center has a broader explanation of this particular tangled claim, which is often, but not always, associated with the black Hebrew Israelites, a movement that originated in the 19th century, a movement that has some of the best drip. For the record, just going to put that out there. The Mortal Kombat drip is unmatched to this day, but that's besides the point. Some black Hebrew Israelite sects believe that non-black Jews are imposters or usurpers of the true Jewish identity. Kanye West has seemingly, gone full-blown. I mean, here it is, for the record, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who have never seen it, it's pretty fucking drippy, okay? I will say it. Not stop me from saying that. It is true. Because it is literally true. Also, there's some cool historical rewriting going on in Black Israelite identity. We've talked about it. We've covered it before. Anyway, since the late 1960s, the radical Hebrew Israelites ideology splintered to form increasingly anti-Semitic, anti-white, anti-LGBTQ, xenophobic, misogynistic sector groups who preach they and only they are the true Israelites of the Bible, and they perpetuate the anti-Semitic belief that so-called Jews have stolen their identity and birthright. The continued struggle of black indigenous people of color in America can find similarities in the narrative of Judaism, particularly in the book of Exodus. For radical Hebrew Israelite groups, however, the similarities are used as a foundation for their anti-Semitic beliefs. Radical Hebrew Israelites appropriate biblical Jewish heritage to claim an exclusive identity as the true chosen people of God and decry Jews as the imposters and thieves. These groups seek a divine form of dominance rather than equity by declaring superiority over all other nations. Now, this in and of itself, like the black Israelites, is a non-issue across the board, even though they have had some instances of violence against against, Jewish groups, Jewish people. There have been instances of direct violence in the hands of black Israelites. But overall, it's considered like a non-issue because they are powerless, irrelevant, a tiny sect, and genuinely have zero power whatsoever. Everybody fucking clowns on them. They do have some funny takes, like I think Shakespeare is black. Like a lot of historical people throughout time were actually black, but then they and that how could you say that? What? I mean, Louis Theroux had met black Israelites and had an in-depth conversation a long time ago. It's like Afrocentrism. It's reactionary. It's built around. It's built around. Here's where it comes from. Okay. This in no way, shape, or form is a way to like justify these guys' beliefs, for the record. But there have been many studies conducted on this. There's many people that have done in-depth analysis into where this kind of attitude comes from. And a big chunk of that is basically a defense mechanism for a lot of people who have been historically held back, a lot, like in a way to avoid that historical intergenerational trauma and just basically make up your own history in an effort to say, hey, like this didn't happen. This horrifying legacy of chattel slavery was actually a lie. I don't want to think about it. I just want to make it seem like there was just an alternate history that has been lost now. For the record, which is why I don't usually cover it as much or anything like that, specifically because it's like, you do this to feel less embarrassed that their ancestors' own people. I mean, yeah, it's like, well, there is more to it when white people do it because white people are still in control and in power. Because whiteness as a concept is like, directly means that you are the people in a position of power. If anything, this is black people trying to create an alternative history where they are the white people. White in, I mean, politically white. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about like literally the color of your skin. It comes from a desperation to want to rewrite history because you don't want to look at it. You don't want to see it. You feel embarrassed by it or you feel hurt by it, understandably so. So you just decide that's not even the case, actually, as a matter of fact. It's totally different. What happened is totally different. Okay? We were the ones that were dominating. In any case, though, What if white people rewrote history, though? White people do rewrite history. What the fuck do you mean? It is copium. I mean, I'm talking about it in more serious ways, but like, what do you mean? What? Motherfucker said, what if white people rewrote history? You mean history as it's been written? Like what?
Right.
That one is a... Yo, they got some curveballs in there. That's the craziest one. He said Cleopatra was actually not black. Anyway. Look. The only thing that is clear cut and black and white is the top of the hour ad break. Okay? You know, no matter what your background is, no matter what's going on, at the top of the hour, you're going to be served with a ad break, okay? And that ad break is going to be 60 seconds. Sometimes it'll be shorter, but it's at the very least going to be 50 seconds, okay? Now, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or you can do for free with the Twitch Prime. That's the only way to escape it. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you will get one free Prime subscription a month. You can also get gifted a sub. Sohaib Bozo. So hi, Bozo. Thank you for the 5 get the subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. Here's the 1 minute ad break coming to you now. 1 second. Boom. Blammo. Here it is. I served it. The council signed a motion to have those on the phone call resign. Okay, we'll get back to that in a little bit. Let's continue with this though. Anyway, so Kanye, when he says like Jews, sometimes he's talking about Jewish people, and other times he's talking about black people. He uses both. And another aside about Jews that didn't make it to air, Ye used a strange metaphor when talking about black people judging one another, telling Carlson, thinking about us judging each other on how white we could talk would be like, a Jewish person judging another Jewish person on how good they danced or something. He paused. I mean, that's probably like a bad example, and people are going to get mad at that shit. A few moments later, he added, I probably want that
exactly
edit that
what our
out.
culture is based on. Think about us judging each other on how white we could talk would be like, a Jewish person judging another Jewish person on how good they danced or something.
By the way, ironically, that is one of the least offensive things Kanye West has said about Jewish people in the last couple of days, which is hilarious. He's basically like, it's so weird. It is so weird. First of all, that example doesn't even make sense because black people acting white or code switching is done as a defense mechanism, okay, in a white supremacist system. Jewish people dancing well is not even a thing. Like, I've never even heard of that as like a stereotype or anything like that. And I don't even know how it would tie back to that same kind of like historical violence or the avoidance of said historical violence. Lol, not even a thing. No, I'm saying like, is that a thing? Like, I've seen Jewish people get down. You know what I mean? Like the bar mitzvahs and shit. I didn't even know that was like a specific thing. I thought that was like a white person thing across the board, but here you go. I mean, yeah. What do you mean? Hey, I mean, what do you even mean? No one thinks that. It's not everyone jokes. Only white Christian Westerners can't dance. That's it. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the joke is that like white people can't dance. I've never heard that like Jewish people can't dance. I've never thought like that was ever even a stereotypical thing. Anyway, regardless. Let's get back to it.
I mean, that's probably like a bad example when people are going to get mad at that shit. But another thing that they do that I probably want to edit that out in front of that like that. Okay, so, you know, I was talking to Ice Cube today, and we got really beat up in 2020 for saying we need to approach things a different way and not just be trauma drunk.
Right.
Which is a term that God just hit me with in the past couple of days. We are no longer trauma drunk. We are no longer trauma drunk, and we're no longer trauma bonding, and we're no longer woke in the sense of what woke is, because woke is just complaining about racism, but not doing anything about it. So what we're gonna do about it is say, hey, you know what? Y'all not gonna send nobody at me based on my opinion. You asked the question before. It drove me crazy to not be able to say that I like Trump.
They cut that part out too. At another point, when complaining that his children are going to a school that celebrates Kwanzaa, Ye added, I prefer my kids' new Hanukkah than Kwanzaa. At least it will come with some financial engineering. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Bro, that's literally Trump, dude. Okay, that is unironic. That's Trump. That's Trump. Some of this stuff would make sense if you put it in a different context with someone who wasn't the worst. He sounds like all the manager ever had a large company just spewing bullshit with random words thinking he invented them. The belief that Jews control the financial system is one of the oldest and most deeply rooted anti-Semitic claims. Is unclear if that's what he meant by financial engineering, a term generally associated with the creation of exotic financial instruments.
I was biting my tongue on my political opinion because I thought it would be better for my children. And now you look up.
For the record, like when he's talking about Hanukkah versus Kwanzaa, it's obvious that he's not referencing Jews as black people, okay? Didn't a chatter joke about this yesterday? Maybe he'll say Jews control the banks, but they do a good job. Yeah, that is what we joked about, yeah.
My kids are going to a school that teaches black kids a complicated Kwanzaa. I prefer my kids' new Hanukkah than Kwanzaa. At least it will come with some financial engineering. Kwanzaa doesn't, so they don't teach even Christmas itself, Christ Mass.
Yom Kippur is when Jews gather and learn entertainment management. Yeah. Famously. I mean, that one, right? That sentiment right there is a Felix bit, okay? Except the difference is Felix is Jewish. Not XQC. I'm talking about Biederman. I know he's going to love that shit. I think black Israelite stuff should have never faded out of the culture. Much more interesting than his Christianity shit. I agree. I agree. It is content. If people are going to go bananas mode, if people are going to go batshit, at least make it entertaining. And all the like evangelical Christian just sucks. It's so boring. It's so fucking played out. As a Jew, my parents did stress the importance of financial responsibility. What with all those days of presents? Isn't it like tiny presents? You know what I mean? It's like toothbrushes and shit. I don't know anything because I didn't have Christmas or Hanukkah. You know what I mean? Muslims, unfortunately, do not have any, like, talked about this a lot. Muslims, unfortunately, don't really have any of that shit. There's, like, nothing fun. The one time everybody gets together, I guess we have Eid, right? But it's not the same. It's not the same. Anyone that says Eid is the same is fucking crazy. Get out of here. And it's also like, is also Ramadan is literally not even wait, Yom Kippur is where you fast for a day, right? Sun up to sundown. Ramadan is fasting from sun up to sundown for a fucking month. It's crazy. That's a whole month, dude. Is wild. Anyway, especially Ramadan goes crazy when it hits the summer. Yom Kippur is dinner to dinner fasting. Yeah. Anyway, I've talked about this a lot. It's not the time and place to talk about it again. Okay, so one more aside. Ye told Carlson that he was going to be the first Latino president. The statement was aired, but it was followed by something that wasn't. I trust Latinos when I work with them. He told Carlson. I trust them more than he paused. I'll be safe. Certain other businessmen, Carlson did not ask which businessmen those might be. I wonder which businessmen he was talking about. Carlson's program also didn't air a strange claim from Ye that fake children had been placed in his house to manipulate his children. I mean, like professional actors placed into my house to sexualize my kids, he told Carlson. He referred to the so-called son of an associate, seemingly to imply the child was fake. We didn't even believe that this person was ever her son because he was way smarter than her, right? Yeah, he's spoken frequently about living bipolar disorder and experiencing manic episodes. In 2019, he discussed how he experiences these with David Letterman telling him, when you're in this state, you're hyper paranoid about everything, everyone. This is my experience. Other people have different experiences. Everyone now is an actor. Everything's a conspiracy. Is there a video of this? Please check out this Bill Burr take on Kanye.
So anyways, I just got to do this. When you talk about race and that type of shit, as a white dude, you just got to go easy, It's very easily, it starts feeling like a meeting, Whenever I start hearing like, yeah, all right, woo, that's not good. All right, I got to pull back a little bit. Start seeing what I'm saying.